Good evening and a very warm welcome to all of you. Those who are on Zoom, those who are here in person, जिनको भी हिंदी में सुनना है, there is a translation available on the Zoom. On your screen if you click, अगर आप उस पर क्लिक करेंगे तो आपको इंटरप्रिटेशन लिखा हुआ होगा, वहाँ क्लिक करके आप अपना लैंग्वेज हिंदी सिलेक्ट कर सकते हैं. So today we have a beautiful topic, and the topic is true freedom. And we just had 4th of July, Independence Day, right? And so what is this freedom, right? And we have seen in the history that whenever the other country has invaded and ruled the country, there is a lot of effort goes on to make the country free again, freedom from the outsiders, right? So, but that freedom is already many countries are in their own, right? And they have received a freedom. Are we talking about that freedom, right? So freedom again are at different levels, right? It could be emotional freedom, it could be mental freedom, it could be financial freedom, right? Many kinds of freedom. And all aspects actually lead to an experience of what is a freedom, where you are not pressured by anything, right? And you can live the way you want, right? That is freedom. And what is the opposite of freedom? Is slave, right? And when I become slave, then what happens? Whether it is I become slave of my mind, I become slave of my habits, I become slave of my thinking, my perspective, then what will happen? What a slave experience, right? Slave will always experience a bondage, isn't it? Because you are abide to do what you are being told or what the situation needs, right? So based on that, you have to mold yourself, change yourself, and sometimes these changes are not happy, right? Not where you are happy about it, pleased about it, isn't it? So how to experience this freedom, right? First of all, ask yourself, can I be free, right? Can I have that freedom? And you may think that it is very difficult or it is very complicated, right, to experience freedom in life. But if we understand few aspects, then I think freedom is achievable. We can experience this freedom. Because see, we all have inner freedom, right? Do you all agree? That we have an inner freedom to think whatever we want to do. Whatever we want to think, we can think that. We have that inner freedom, right? You can be restricted, right? In certain situation, there could be an external bondage, or there is no external freedom, right? So, but when there is inner freedom, then I can think anything. Then I can and do whatever I want, whatever ideas I have, I can think upon it, I can plan whatever I want to. So there is this inner freedom, and based on this inner freedom, I decide, I plan my life, right? What I want to do, how I want to do, right? So without inner freedom, I think we cannot do anything, isn't it? So how to experience this inner freedom all the time, right? So inner freedom, it is said that freedom and responsibility are two sides of a same coin. Okay? Like freedom, you will always experience freedom when you are responsible. I always give this example, right? That if I got a license, right, and I am very much fond of driving, once I have a license, I can drive. I can drive anywhere in US, right? And there is no one who can stop, right? I can drive. If I want to drive 16 hours in a day, I can drive 16 hours, and I can go on any road wherever I want. So I have that freedom when I have the license, right? But if I drive responsibly, then I can continue to drive, isn't it? If I don't drive responsibly, then there could be consequence. So freedom you can experience when you are responsible. So I should be aware what I need to do, how I want to do, and I also have to pay attention that whatever I do, it is for good. It is for my good, it is for good of others. Right? Then I can maintain that freedom. Right? So, but why we don't experience freedom? Many times we have such kind of a life where we think, oh, I have a family and I have to take care of the family. There is no freedom. Is it so? Can I say that? Can I? Can I say that? That because I have responsibilities, I cannot be free, because I don't like to go to work, because people don't understand me, and I have to go to work. What do you think? Are you free? Do you have a freedom? I think the answer to this is we are free and we have a freedom. But we make a choice according to what we think is possible. Right? And this is where I need to, if I want to exercise my freedom, understand that I have that freedom. I can do whatever I want. It is possible, right? Because then you will see, otherwise it is very easy, right? Not to experience freedom. And how we don't experience freedom? By giving an excuse. Right? Because I have so and so responsibility, I cannot do this. Because I have so and so relationship, I cannot do this. Right? All these are nothing but excuses. And actually, what I do is, I have made that choice that I want to live in that kind of an burden. I want to live in that kind of an bondage. I have made that choice. Many times we don't realize this. And it is very difficult to accept even that I am creating that bondage. Okay? Because we are free actually. Right? So understand, become aware that I have a freedom. Then you will exercise that freedom, then you will experience that freedom. Otherwise, there are always reasons, and that reasons will not allow you to express and experience freely, right? And that is why then we cannot do whatever we want to achieve in our life. And that is why we are not happy many times, right? What happens is, sometimes, like in relationship also, or with your own self, sometimes we create expectations, right, for ourselves, and those are good expectations, right? That this is what I want to do. I want to make an effort, right? In terms of relationship also, you have a fair expectation that in this thing, my children should do this, my spouse should do this. There are fair expectations, right? But what happens as time passes by, and when I hold on to those expectations, what will happen? If things doesn't go well the way you are expecting, right? And again and again you are noticing that it is not getting fulfilled. The expectations are not meeting that expectations, right? Those things, whatever you have planned, right, or whatever you want to see in your life. It could be relationship, it is your own personal thing. Then what will happen? When expectations are not met, you feel low. Sometimes you feel frustrated. Sometimes you feel that you are not worthy, right, to meet the goals or people understanding me, right? Because the expectations are not met, because I said something to someone, they did not do it. And I have kept on saying that again and again, and it is not being done, right? Then what will happen, right? And say, for example, if I am not able to meet my expectations, and then other expectations are also not met with others, then what will happen? Then you see yourself, you feel that you are in a bondage. You are kind of helpless, right? And that is very suffocating feeling, right? It is like a bird is in cage, right? And sometimes we don't understand that it is a cage. And that cage is created by whom? It is created by us only, by our own expectations, right? Our own planning, our own thinking create all these different kind of cages. And where I suffocate, and many times what I do, I make others also suffocate. Have you seen that? Right? In relationship, right? There is an ownership in relationship, right? A parent and a child, there will be an ownership. Between the spouse, there is an ownership. Whatever I say, you have to listen. Whatever you say, I have to listen. Or sometimes it is not like that. It is always one way. Whatever I say, you have to listen. That's all. Right? And when I condition myself in this way, what I do is I create pressure on others. And so others also feel suffocated. Then what do you do? Then you try to avoid them, try to not follow them, try not to listen to them. What will happen? It will create more and more hostile environment. It is not an experience of a freedom, right? Understood, right? And so freedom is it's a beautiful feeling which you can have. It could be spiritually, it could be in relationship, right? And freedom is In relationship, freedom is I can share that freely by giving space to others. I can share my idea, right? But I'm not imposing that idea, right? And when another one also shares, that person also don't imposes those ideas or those ideology or their thinking, right? Or their goals. But there is this space given in between, right? And when you give that space, what will happen? Then you can experience the freedom. Then you can experience what unity is, right? What friendship is, right? In relationship. Because relationship should allow you to become more stronger, not more weaker, right? But when I am caught into my expectations, right, my desires, then what happens? Then I become weak, and then for whom I have kept expectations and desires, that relationship also becomes weak, right? So what I have to do then, right? In order to exercise freedom, bring your understanding each and every day, right? If something doesn't work, then let it go, right? How I will let it go? Remind yourself that I have a freedom to make a different choice. Until now, I made certain choice. It didn't work. I feel that I am suffocating in it, right? I become frustrated. I get caught up into my own feelings, my own expectations, my own perception. I get caught up into it. So next time, think in a different way. That okay, let me try this. Maybe this will work, right? So there has to be an understanding. I have to be sensible enough, right? That if things doesn't work, I let go, I try different things. So have understanding about yourself, about the surrounding, about how people feel, right? When people are in front of me, how they feel. They feel that, oh, many times there are certain kind of personality you will find that when that person comes into the gathering, they will say that, okay, now keep quiet, now don't say anything, because I have created that kind of my personality, right? Which is very rigid, right? Very forceful, right? So what I need to do is I have to change my behavior, I have to change my thinking, and I am free to do that, right? If something not nice you have experienced, some experience which is not making you happy, it is very obvious that you don't do that again, right? Isn't it? And if you understand that I have that inner freedom, then I can make a choice. And through that choice, I can have a different experience then in life. And so that it really doesn't matter whatever situation I am in, what kind of relationship I am in, it really doesn't matter. But if I know what freedom is, and if I value that freedom from today onwards, I can bring that change in my life. Okay? By new thinking, right? By becoming aware, who really am I, right? Who am I? I'm here. The purpose of living a life is to experience peace, to experience happiness, to share peace and happiness, right? Is that the purpose or not, right? That is our purpose, right? But then many times we don't know what kind of thinking I have, what kind of desires I have, and knowingly or unknowingly we get caught up into all this. And then we think that we have lost our goal, we have lost our path, right? And we feel that, oh, maybe I cannot achieve anything. right? Because I have not exercised my freedom. And this is a great treasure. And don't give this treasure to anyone else. Many times what we do, right? The weaknesses which I have, right? When people notice it, what they do, they take advantage of it, isn't it? And that is why it is said that many times what we do is we give our remote control into their hands, and then they can do whatever, and then we change, and that is where we feel that we are in bondage, right? But if I want to experience freedom, then what I have to do, I have to take ownership. I have to become master of myself. And that is what Raj Yoga teaches. When you practice the meditation which is taught here, it will slowly and gradually, it will allow you to become a master of yourself. Because you know your feelings, right? You know your emotions. What is going inside you, when you are aware about it, then it is very easy to channelize it, right? So freedom would be that I am in control, right? And at least it's not about controlling others, but controlling your own self, right? Making right choices, right? Freedom will allow me to make right choices, right? So even the situation is unhappy, situation is tense, can I have a freedom to be peaceful in it, right? Can I have a freedom to be calm in those situations, in those adverse situations? Do I have that freedom or not? Yes. So I have to make those right choices. And if you exercise that right choice, you will see that you are becoming better. I won't say that you immediately will start feeling that, I'm completely above and beyond all of that. It may not happen that, but there will be a change. You will find 10%, 20%, you are free from it, right? So no matter what life throws at me, right, whatever situation may come, but I have a freedom to make a choice where I can be peaceful, right? I can make a choice that where I can be happy, right? And when I make that choice, you will see that, because thoughts are very, very powerful. If you think that I want to be peaceful, if you think I want to be happy, you will find numerous ways to transform those situations in life, right? And that is what is the power of the freedom. Many times we don't realize it. And what we become victim of it, victim of situations, victim of people, because they said so. Whatever other person said, you don't take it, then it is not with you. But this person told me such a bad thing, I am not going to forget it. What happens? I get influenced by it, and then I get caught up into it. Then I am not able to use my specialities. I am not able to use my strengths. Right? Freedom will allow me to excel in these kind of situation. Right? Because freedom is what? Where there is hope, where there is zeal, where there is enthusiasm. If you don't have this, understand that I have given my freedom. Right? So every day when you wake up in the morning, there has to be thoughts of hope, of zeal, of enthusiasm, of doing something new, doing something better. Right? Each and every step of my life should be towards progress, right? And that can only happen when I exercise my freedom, right? And when you exercise your freedom, what will happen? The sign you will see is slowly and gradually you will let go your weaknesses, right? Because freedom is what? Weaknesses are nothing but bondages, which makes us helpless, right? And it could be my own thinking, negative kind of thinking, right? Thinking of that I am not worthy. These kind of thinking will make me feel that I am in bondage. So don't think. The only way to come out of this kind of bondage is stop thinking from now onwards. And you will find a new way of living a life. Right? Stop. Right? Whenever their mind comes with all these different kind of emotions, tell that no, I have now changed. I want to really exercise my freedom, and I want to experience my freedom so that I can experience peace and happiness in my life. I have to tell. Situation will try to influence, but I have to influence myself. I have to empower myself. I have to have that much hope, that much intoxication, that I am going to diffuse these things, which is trying to make me suppress my true feelings, right? That is what freedom can do, right? And this freedom is there within each one of us, right? And don't make this freedom weak by finding that, oh, it is like this, it is like this, it is like this. No, think out of the box, right? Freedom will allow you to think out of the box, right? Because we are so comfortable in this life, right? And we live a life of what? Of maybe a golden cage, right? And we think, oh, I have a golden cage, but cage is a cage, right? No matter what, right? Because the bird doesn't know, right, what is out of the cage, right? If I am not in a cage, what is that freedom? I am not experiencing it. And so it is like I am in ignorance. I am feeling that, yeah, whatever this is so good, right? And I sustain them and I'm okay with it. Even though I'm unhappy with it, I'm still managing it, that it's okay. This is my life and this is what I have to live, right? But freedom will allow me to go beyond all these limitations, right? Freedom is going into unlimited, right? So can we experience freedom then? So let's sit in silence, reflect with our positive self, our hopeful self, and whatever that bondage is I have, let me make it loose. Let me shed all these bondages so that I can really become completely free from all of that, right? Then the perspective towards life is different. Then I'm working, but I'm working so that I can bring change. I want to work, but I want to work happily, right? If I'm at home, it is not a burden, it is not a responsibility, but it is coming together, experience love, happiness in family, right? So that is what freedom will do, right? So let's go into silence and experience this freedom which we have, immerse that freedom within. Om Shanti. Sit comfortably and relax yourself. Relax your body. Breathe deeply. Become aware of your positive divine self. Ask yourself, what is my purpose of life? The purpose of my life is to live peacefully, be happy and loveful. And so, with this purpose in life, I want to take each and every step towards this purpose of life. It really doesn't matter what I do, what is my role. But I am free to experience the purpose of my life while performing actions. I have this amazing capacity of the mind that by creating positive, peaceful, loveful thoughts, I can diffuse stress. I can diffuse expectations. I can diffuse desires. I am the master of myself. I can manage my feelings. I can channelize it the way I want. My mind is very, very powerful. Whatever I think, whatever vision I create for myself, I can experience it. And so having this hope and a great zeal and enthusiasm, let me empower myself. Let me exercise my true freedom. Freedom is being who you are. Let me be myself. This is very simple actually. If I try to be what others want to be, it becomes complicated. And I have seen that in my life, that it really doesn't work. And so, let me be myself. And along with that, I will also do my best possible. Because I know myself better. I know my strengths. I also know my weaknesses. The more often I use my strengths in day-to-day life, I will overcome weaknesses. So I don't worry about it. I now have a freedom to make right choices. And when I make right choices, it will lead me to progress. And so I don't have to think too much. I don't have to worry. I believe in myself. I have great potential. Positive, purposeful thinking has immense strength. Let me be in control of my life. Situations and circumstances comes and goes, and it will not influence me. Because now I am master of my thoughts and my feelings. By exercising freedom, the situations which will come in front of me will become stepping stone to reach to my success. Realize that until now I lived a life with excuses and expectations and which created a bondage. And by becoming aware that I am free, let go of all the bondages. Identify them and then let go them. Be completely free from it. I am free to make my life happy. I am free to do what I want. I am free to stay peaceful and calm. I am now like a bird which has zeal and enthusiasm as wings, and I can fly as high as I want. There is no limit. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Anyone has any question? You can, those who are on Zoom, they can put it into chat. Anyone has question here? It's clear, right? If it is clear, then practice it, right? Because then only you will experience it. Right? Okay. Okay, thank you very much for joining today.
Thank you.
And we can
Thank
meet
you.
again
Nice and
next
helpful.
Tuesday.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Om
Om
Shanti.
Shanti. Om
Om
Shanti.
Shanti.
Om Shanti.